See that? That's inside. See, it's nice and tight. Now this right here, it's like a big overgrown caliper. This is the this is measure the outside. This is the inside. Except it's rusty. Now I'll show you the brake shoe. Come on.
So we did. He modified the drum to. We're gonna make the back of the car also be a brake.
8.5 inch.
So we had to make a new drum. He used the existing drum, cut, and then fit. What is it? 1/2 inch wider than the original. So the new drum's 1/2 inch wider because there's shoes on the back drum, which was just a parking brake, and now it's going to be used as the brake. But before, because of the parking brake, there was no shoe. It was just metal to metal, just lock it up. Well, you can't have that if you're going to use it as a brake. So he machined, as you can see, that's all machined. He took a piece of pipe and cut out the old drum and then welded a pipe to it and milled it because it was double the thickness. And this is way thicker than the original because you're going to be heating it up. Because the original, there's the difference. There's your original right there. See the difference on the thickness? So basically he cut this outside ring out and had a pipe that fit on the outside.
The pipe was casted steel.
Casted steel that went on the outside, welded it, and then had to machine the thickness because it was almost double this thickness that's now here. So that got machined. So we have clearance now because the brake system now has a shoe on it versus just the metal like before. So we're going to use that as a brake. So we're modifying the T already. Before you know, we're putting a supercharger on the engine to get more power. You know, most people when they modify cars, they make them go faster. Here we're doing the opposite. We're making it stop better.
Right here, I got that much room. But if you go here, where you arch, see, this one here, it probably just about fit. And right here, see, rubbing a little bit. Now this brake shoe here, this one here, I cleaned this up right here. You can see where I cleaned it. So I actually sucked this in a little bit to make my drum fit. No.
Yeah, because these didn't have the shoe on. All it was metal. This was just a parking brake.
Yes.
Because the brake was on the transmission on the drum.
Right.
So this got added.
Yes.
To add brakes to the back wheels.
Right.
And this was the T, and then the Model A. Model A,
you know, brakes front and rear.
they put front and rear brakes, which wouldn't be a bad idea to do the same to the front. So because we've added this much thickness, you have to add the thickness to the drum also to clear it. So that's why those drums got made. So you'd be able to use the back as a brake and not the transmission. And probably gonna put a set in the front. Then you have 4-wheel drum brakes, which would be the ideal. So we'll have plenty of brakes on it. May not have the power to go fast, but we can stop. So here's the Model A. What year is this?
1930.
30 Model A, and there's your front brakes. This is actually another car we have behind the one we're working on. And there's your front brake right there. There's your drum. And here's the linkage
You can pull
right here.
for your brakes.
You pull on this and it activates the brake in the front.
Yep.
And that would be a rod that would connect to the
Same one.
same one that connect to the back.
Yep.
So here's an improvement when they went from the T to the A, Model A, is they put brakes in the front.
Yep.
Obviously, because it most of your weight transfers to the front, so it helps stop. And then they also went to the spoke
Wheels.
spoke wheels, which was also an improvement. It progressed. And here's the difference. The ones that are on are the factory nuts, and this is the gold looking one. You see how much flatter and wider the factory nut is compared to the new one. That way there's more contact surface on the drum, but also gives you the clearance for
The springs.
all this.
It's got to clear all of this.
It's got to clear all that, and if it stuck out any, it's gonna hit and make a mess out of things.
Yep.
Yeah, they were thinking when they built these.
Except this one here went from.
So here's our modified brake drum. That's in to fit around the shoe. And now we put the tire and rim on. That needs to fit inside there. Just like that. Well, there's the T. Body's painted. He's got it it's mounted on the frame. He's got the wheels done. The hood is being painted. That's actually already painted. It's probably just drying up. Window posts are mounted. Here's your instrument cluster, 1 gauge. It's looking really good. That's the wheels for the back. I think he's doing something with the spokes. The side skirt, the side pieces that go on here, they're painted and ready to go on. It's looking really good. It's coming along. You put the interior in this car and a few other pieces, and before you know it's done. There's the other wheel. Yep, it's looking really good. These are the this is the saddle that the top rests on, and these must be the straps. Yep. Very cool. That's the other ring for the headlight. And it's got his spark plug and wires going to the coil. Fuse box is all wired in. There you go. There's your wiring harness right here. This radiator piece, I don't know if anything else goes in front or if that's it. It might just be the way it was. I think you can get these covers for it, keep the rocks from damaging the radiator, but I believe they might have been this way from factory. I don't think they had anything in the front. I think it'd be a good idea to add. Cool. This thing's almost done. Couple more weeks and it's done.